Right guys, as you can see I'm getting on okay, wouldn't say brilliant. So I'm putting that stuff down and then putting the earth wool over. And where I have the floorboards I'm just able to feed it. Don't know if you can actually see, but I'm able to stick it underneath and roll it out. So I've got more or less this whole section done, a couple of wee bits to finish off. And then I'm going to start this section. And then I'll go on to that section, and then I'll probably jump in and put in some in there. So the idea, guys, is I want to get this all down, all insulated down, and then start getting all the floorboards down, and then that means I can start doing the roof on up with insulation and on up. Again, might need more rock wool up in them areas too. We'll see how I get on, but I'm not worried about up there just yet. I'm more concentrating about this floor. As you can see, there's quite a bit to it. I have done over here already. I'll just show you this. Watch my step, everything's a bit higgledy-piggledy, a bit messy until I get these floorboards down, and then it'll be back to normal. But as you can see, I still need to tidy these up. Have all down. Don't know why I haven't put that piece in there. It's just sitting there. Must have. Don't know. But all this section's already done from below as well, so I've got a bit of a head start. And in there's already done and floored. So I've got a real good head start on this side. Practically this side's done to the beams, and again you can see why I went over the other side, because there's a bit of a clean match to do here. So my idea will be, if I get all this side done, insulated right over there, it means I can start putting some floorboards down here, and then hopefully that'll lighten this load a bit. But if not, I can always clear that area. If I dark over this side, and always clear that area and insulate all that area until I get over here, and then I can shift some boards over against the wall. But yeah, I had to open the windows. It's quite warm up here. Obviously going to be warm up until I get all this insulated, and then it'll stay nice and cool. But yeah, that's my wee breakover, guys. Bit of a horrible job. Anything seems to do with insulation is just horrible. But yeah, getting on well. I think only really needed 100mm in for like a future conversion, but the fact that there's going to be 150mm in there and all this is going to be insulated, I think it's going to be a lovely warm house. And then again, it's going to have the big floorboards there. I think it's going to be a really lovely warm house. I hope it's going to be a lovely warm house, guys. Everything's trying to be done overkill anyway. So I decided to stick a board down, and just to give me more working space here. I might stick one more down if it doesn't foul the next insulation, which I think it doesn't. I think it just lands there perfectly. So that just gives me more working room, guys, because one wrong step and you're gonna be sore, just to put it lightly. So yeah, I'll get another board down here, and I'll move them boards over then once I have this all marked up and screwed. What slowed me down yesterday was another drill bit just sheared off. Must be the 100th by this stage. So yeah, by the time I finish this floor, I think I'm going to be quite a couple of drill hits, to say the least. So yeah, the plan is, if I can get another board down there, I'll shift everything out of here, and then I'll insulate this whole section here, and then I'll floor that section, and then hopefully by that stage, this is a bit lighter, I can just slide it. Well, I don't really need to move it because underneath there is already done right enough, but yeah, it means I could work onto this section. But I was kind of jumping back and forward from the two sections. But that's kind of the routine that I think I'm going to get into, is insulating some and then flooring some, so I have plenty of walkway. Again, I had to actually screw this whole board, and I'd never get finished this whole board, and then just need to tidy up whatever I was doing here, not sure what was going on. But then this whole section here can be completely finished with flooring as well, which, as you can see, all the insulation boards here, all the 100mm taking up all my room. But once I get up here floored, it means that I can get all the 50mm insulation up as well. But I might start trying to use some of this up to give me some more room. But yeah, absolute mountain of work, guys. It's a bit darker up here because obviously there's no window in this section. And then by the time I board this, it's going to get darker again, so I will be using lights quite a lot. And just quickly looking at the insulation, guys, I think I'm going to run short. I'm not sure, not 100% sure. I could potentially run short on this floor, but hopefully I can get the two main parts done, and I only run short in the hallway, so I only need to run and get some for the hallway there. But yeah, so the plan is, guys, I'm gonna work out where my next sheet goes here, whether I start on this wall. I think if I start on this wall, it'll fall on joist. I can't remember. But whenever way I start, it is what it is. I'll get that sheet down, and then I'm gonna get that all insulated, and even in the wee cupboard there, I'll get the insulation down and get the floor floored. There we go, guys. Acoustic on top of just the normal insulation. Sneezing there with it. So I'm going to finish that off right through. Need to go and get another roll up. I have probably enough acoustic to finish, no problem. But I need another roll of that over that fiberglass stuff, and then I can get this whole section floored. What I was thinking though, I might need to insulate enough on this area here to put this board on. I might need this board on just in case it gets a bit awkward around this wee, because I will need a wee check cut out of that. If you look, we're going to hit about here somewhere with that board, so I will need a wee check cut out of that. So I'm thinking what I might do is might cut this one, just place it in dry, and then get this one all insulated, this whole area, and then make my wee check cut. I'm going to have to open the windows because I'm getting really warm up here. I'm actually sweating. But yeah, so what I'm saying is we need to insulate this area here, get this board down first, and then I can finish flooring all this. But I want to insulate this section first, and that leaves me where if I do want to cut that dry, I can set it down, and whatever's left can start me here or here. Doesn't really matter as long as I'm staggering the joints, guys, like so, like brick fashion, you know. Everything's stronger when it's staggered, guys. So yeah, that's my wee break done, guys. Thanks very much, and I'm gonna go and start rolling more itchy out. Here we go, guys. So this is the progress so far. Just running out of batteries here, a couple more screws to put on the back line, and that's in there complete for now. And then I have this board and that board ready to cut, both marked marked up here, and then I'm going to cut them, move that out of the way, or set them down dry, and then I'm going to cut out this awkward one because I have it all insulated. So once I get that one down, it'll give me a good walkway, and I can just wipe this one out too. So yeah, the next clip, guys, should be pretty exciting. And then I have the floor brush up and stuff just to keep sweeping it off the edges. But yeah, I think it's starting to shape up. It feels really, really, really solid to walk on. Or I knew that when I was doing that line for the plumber. There's heating pipes in here, as you can see. So I had to put some boards down so that the first fix plumbing could be finished. But yeah, guys, starting to feel like a room more and more. Every couple of minutes, or every couple of hours, I suppose, more that I put into it. I'm making progress. Slow progress, but it's still progress. So as long as we're moving forward, we're going in the right direction. I'm gonna have to get me light up here, otherwise it's just gonna get too dark. But I haven't got much time left, so if I can finish this and get that, and then maybe organise in there, that'll be good going, I think. And then if I can get here tomorrow, I will really crack on then. So that's M2 cut, just set in dry. Wanted this one in just to help me measure up for the next board, which is measured. And I actually need to cut, I'm going to cut to the far line there, and I have a couple of lines. If I cut to the far line, means that wall's not terribly straight at the bottom, gives me a wee bit of play there. And then obviously by the time I plaster, it'll come out, so any gaps I'm not too worried. And then I need to come to this joist, so I need to cut this board a couple of times. But yeah, that's where the jigsaw is going to come in handy here, just help me with that wee awkward cut. I'll probably just plunge the saw down into it anyway, and then get the jigsaw, cut the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and evolution these boards into size, and then get them evolution screwed down into size as well. Guys, I don't know, I think I've been going on and on about these bits, but Faithful and Dewalt, and they both keep shattering. I went through 3 drill heads in that section alone. Now that's Quicksilver screws, where these screws here, floor tight, I have a different bit. I think it came with the screws, and it's not breaking. Like I've done this whole section here and a bit of a section down the far end, and I haven't had it break. Cross my fingers, eh? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this all evolutioned into place, and then we will just continue in here, because obviously I'm gonna need a wee strip just to finish this off. 2 wee strips actually to finish that off, and a full piece here. But we'll worry about that in a moment. First off, I'm going to measure this all again before I actually do cut. As they say, measure twice, cut once. There we go, guys. That's that. One of the most awkward pieces. I had to actually lift it again. I had to try and shuffle in boards over, because it went down that way and then it wasn't in there, so I had to lift it, put it in that way, and also needed to take an extra wee hair off that side just to get it in. Again, I'm trying to leave a wee bit at the edges for expansion. Again, I see new builds and it's skin tight, so I don't think they're too worried about expansion on them, but I'm just trying to leave some room for some movement. Again, I'm going to get this all screwed down now so it's all sitting perfect. I can go ahead and screw these ones now as well, so everything's falling into place, and it happened to fit like a glove, huh? Yes. What are you thinking now? More or less all screwed up, letting the drill cool down a bit. That was a lot of screws to put in. So while I did that, I just started making my measurements and my cuts. So that goes straight in. Obviously that's a door, and then obviously I've run short, slightly short, but I'm not gonna worry, because by the time I get up that end I'll probably have a piece more suited for it, so I'm not gonna sacrifice any cuts for that just yet, because all these pieces here were from the ends of these boards, so I'm not gonna go mad and cut, but I'm gonna go mad here in a minute and screw. But yeah, what do you think, guys? So far, starting to really come in. Really looking like a room now. Obviously all that's still to be done, but we'll just look in here because it makes me feel nice, makes me feel good having that cupboard done, this floor all sitting down, but still need to crawl in there and insulate all that and have lots of fun in there. Yeah. So anyway, I think I'm nearly done for now, but I'm going to get this all screwed up, and then there's still some screws to put down the far end. I'll finish the end boards. I don't like leaving it unscrewed. I like to have it all screwed so that whenever I'm coming back I know what I'm doing, I know where I'm at. And again, like I say, whatever I get to be cutting, I'll just work it in for that wee piece. But yeah, I think all in all, guys, it's good and solid. No bounce, no squeaks. The only place it's squeaking is down there. There's one wee spot down there squeaking, but once I get all them boards off, I'm going to get a look at that and maybe put a couple of joists in or something, because I don't know. I'll just show you this. I don't know if it's a joist squeaking or the board. If it's the board, it's not even a major squeak in there. Just here, ever so slightly, just that one there. But I don't know if it's just put a couple more screws in, or I might have to put some noggins across just to take that squeak out of it, because that's why I've spent a fortune on these screws, because they're the best, and I'm wanting the best on this floor anyway. Well, as good as can be. Obviously here there is a wee slight something there with the joinery work that they've done around the beams, and the far end's a lot worse than this end. This end's close, but it's not perfect. But again, if this was ever getting split into two rooms, you'd likely be splitting it here, some way or another. But it's more or less just for a big floored attic, and maybe put my PC here or something. Do for editing all these videos, have a bit of somewhere to hide and make them videos for you guys. But yeah, what do you think of my joinery work, guys? Again, I don't need the red lines, they are not necessary. I can eyeball it, you know, I'm not that bad, I can eyeball it, but the red lines are done on purpose for future, so I know exactly what the joists are. If I ever needed to cut anything or get access, you know what way everything is. The red lines that highlight where the screws should be, where the joists are, and what way the joists are running. Again, I just need to note here, I'm going to write pipes along here. There's a pipe there, and there is a pipe. I think there's a pipe in here. Yeah, there's a pipe there. Must have put them timbers over it to protect it, because that's going to be a radiator there. Again, I'd just like to note pipes on the floor so I know where the pipes are running, what way they're running. I'll do it again in there. You can see they're actually insulated in there where I'm going to be burying, and then all along the edges still need insulated. But yeah, I'm going to go now and get this all screwed up, and maybe get another board or two on this way, because there's going to be another awkward cut over there. Hey guys, so got the gloves on here, as I've just shifted all these timber from this area through that one up out of the way, and the idea is I'm going to insulate this whole row here, and then get some timber down, some floorboards down, put two bridges in here, and it's more or less stop the creak. Still a wee bit of a creak, but nowhere near as bad, so they did help. Still be tiny bit in it. I think if I screw this down a bit more, it will help. But aside from that, there's no noise up this side. Again, I've already got that board fixed down, so I'm not lifting it. I don't mind if there's one board creaking in the whole house. But yeah, there we are, guys. That's a bit better than what it was. Again, might be able to just re-screw them once I get all these floorboards fitted, which is going to take a wee bit of time because there's about 20 boards there. But yeah, going to go ahead now, insulate this whole row here, and then I'm going to start putting the floorboards down here, and then I can go again, insulate, board, insulate, board, insulate, board. Just easy like that, you know. Here we go, guys. I'm going to put some more on top again. Well, the far end, then 3 or 4 finished, but just want to finish these couple. But it's crazy how quick a roll and a half disappears into the floor, especially that I'm actually doing right over. As you can see, you know, maybe see a little bit. There's insulation poked right through. It's not easy to do, guys, because I have to fish it under and then go around and pull it, so it's a bit slow. But yeah, I'm gonna double this section up now, and then start putting my floorboards down. Just praying that an 8 foot just slaps down, so I don't have to cut. Could do with a wee bit of luck for a change, but I've had to cut it. I've had to cut every piece of plasterboard in the place nearly to suit the joists. The joists weren't set out to suit plasterboard. I don't know what way they were set out. So obviously now I've got the same size floorboards are not set out for them either. So it is what it is. Just keep going. Guys, that's it. All doubled up. A wee bit left. Start that one. Yeah, so I'm gonna get this boarded right over to the wall, and then I'll start insulating the next row. And find this wee bit better of a system than just keep insulating. It gives me a better platform to work off as I move over. So yeah, again, like I said, can't cut these boards now. Happy days. Fun. One board down, and now I'm on to my awkward cut. Not really going to be that awkward, realistically. Set this rule up. So that's what I need lengthwise to measure off my, I've already cut off my biggest part. So you need that point to that point, and you need that point into that point. And then you just transfer that to the board, and then you just match up the two lines. So it looks pretty good. Sometimes you can tell, you look at them and you think, no, that's not right. Then when you need to sort of look at your angle, and then how we look, and it looks perfect. So I'm going to get that cut off and fit it down. Actually this next one would be more tricky here, but it should be alright putting a wee bit of a piece in. The only thing is I might want an extra bit of wood here somewhere, just to catch that corner, just so it doesn't bounce in. It shouldn't really with two good joists there, but triple. So yeah, let's get this chopped up, guys, and then next time you see me I'll probably insulate and board this one. But after these couple of cuts, everything's straightforward until I get to the door, which is going to be, again, I'm going to kind of want to go out, right out to where I have to be to kill the next board out here, fitting flush to it, so I don't have any more awkward cuts. I'll do it all in here, so this hallway is nice and simple. But yeah, getting there. Again, just marking all my lines. Could eyeball it, no problem, just the way I did with all the plasterboard, but it's for future reference if you ever need to get at anything. You know where all the screws should be. So enough of that wee break. I'm gonna go and get stuck in there. Right, guys, got that all insulated pretty quickly. So now I'm gonna work out where my first board's gonna go. Get that on, and then have another 3 sections roughly, maybe 3.5 to go. I'm definitely going to run out of insulation. That insulation was piled high, and now we're right down to the bare bones. But on a good note, in there is already insulated, and all this section here back is all insulated, bar along and from here back. So I definitely think we're going to run short. Just seems to be getting ate up in the floors. Oh, it's going to be a warm house, guys, and it's going to be nice and quiet up here. It's me jumping, so yeah, I don't think we're going to hear too much through it travelling. Again, could carpet all this area too with some underlay and drown it out even more. Again, it is a big area to do, but I'm sure we'll do something in the distant future. Still have that wee piece to fit in. Might take it off this if that doesn't fit anywhere else handy. But yeah, gonna go work out where my first big sheet's gonna go, probably off this wall over somewhere, and then we'll see what way I can piece this in. As you can see, I did actually have to take another wee nick out of that, trying to leave a bit of a gap, guys, just for a wee bit of expansion on the edges. But yeah, definitely think I get on better because I have a big platform here to work off, and I was able to just flick it across. So once I get this board, it's going to be copy and repeat. The only thing awkward, they do make it a wee bit more awkward because you have to kind of tear it around the top one just to get it down a bit. But I do want to make sure it insulate around them, because you'd imagine in the future if anything's going to squeak, it kind of would be them. But I know they're superior than the noggins. They have noggins there as well, and noggins on this end, but they're more for a wee fire block for each room, and also definitely made the thing more solid. Right, enough of that for a wee break. I like to have a break, guys, after I put that in, because it's itchy, warm and horrible to work with. So yeah, now I'm back on to being a lumberjack and get some timber down. Use that wee half cutting up here, and I've got nearly a full sheet, goes up to about here. Did notice there's a couple of wee discrepancies between the two where the gang nail is, but I put a straight edge over. You don't notice it too much. I think that one just seems greater because it's a smaller board. Hopefully when I screw it all down, it's not as bad. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about it, because again, up here I'll likely get carpet anyway, so it's not going to be something terribly noticeable. But I'll keep a wee eye on it. If I can lift it up, I might lift it up and take a wee chip out of that and see if it helps any, and make it fall down a wee bit more. But I must admit, guys, this Evolution circular saw, if I did have a reel, it would be cutting that much sweeter for me, but this thing it's coming in good. You know, most of the joints spot on, couple of cuts, but I can fill them in if I want. I have loads of sawdust. There you go, guys, so it's cutting in pretty well. Again, I could fill in the joints a wee bit with some sawdust and PVA and just wipe them in if I want. I think this may be the biggest gap, but it's not much, so we'll see how fussy I get after I plaster everything. You know, I think once everything's plastered, we'll not be too concerned about the floor so much. Again, I might actually cover up this floor and stuff as well, some rollout stuff, and tape it up. I'll see how fussy I get. It's not a big deal. For all I'll drop, it'll scrape up easy enough too, especially because the boy doing the floors putting the screws in nice and flush, or if not, countersunk slightly. But yeah, enough of a break again, and just slow myself down. I'm gonna get this board down, and then I'll start working out what I'm gonna do with this lovely piece here. could end up being one big piece. See how we get on. And with that one sitting, still need to screw the whole length, guys. Still need to get it all screwed down, but to think of the joinery work there, guys, nice and neat cut there. Kept a wee bit of a gap for expansion. Does get a bit tight there, but I'm not too worried. There's still plenty of room for movement. Just need to get these screwed down now so to sit perfect, or as close to as possible. But yeah, guys, what do you think of the joinery work? The measurement skills just shows you what a lot of mistakes can actually lead up to, you know. A lot of mistakes and you'll get good, guys, trust me. Obviously if you measure, as long as you don't confuse yourself too much, you'll not be too bad. Again, once you have plasterboard on there, you'll probably not even see that gap at all. You'll definitely not, because there's the frame sticking out past. All this needs plasterboarded. I will insulate the end pipes before I sheet that wall. Bit awkward. Might just put. Well, I have the pipe lag and stuff, so I'll get that over it. But yeah, guys, I feel like I'm starting to get somewhere, so I'm gonna quickly start screwing down. Then I can move all that stuff over. And look at this big pile. It's fairly came down. There's only two timber left, 2 sheets there left, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sheets in there. So yeah, fun. Get them all used up. It won't be so bad then. There'll be a bit more room. Again, I need to finish that bit off, but I'm going to do that with this off cut from that slope cut there, and then we are flying on to the next one. You can see how dark it's getting up here, guys. I might have to pull the lead up and get proper lights up, because it is getting a wee bit dull, to say the least. But again, the more aboard, the safer the floor gets, obviously. But yeah, kind of think I should have definitely went for some Veluxes at the time of the window. Might have to get some added in, guys, somewhere around here or something on both sides, because there's no natural light on this section. Could be nice though if we'll have a wee, you know, wee overhead projector or something set up here, or you know, even just a nice big TV, and we could have some movie nights and stuff sitting in, you know, with the natural light. And that, you know, there's no natural light directly in the way of the TV. Then you'll have a nice sort of cool wee room for a cinema. Oh, what a day to be working inside. Look at that rain. Flipping heck. You can probably hear it too on the roof, yes. Hopefully when you insulate you'll never hear that again. Couldn't see by the time I put 150mm insulation over the top, in between and over the top, and then plasterboard bonding and skin. I could not see you hearing. Couldn't see it being heard. Where was it? So my wee battery powered light died, nearly gave me a heart attack as I'm screwing down. And although there's no real electric in this house, bar my leads that I've just brought up because that light died, it still nearly gave me a heart attack when I was drilling down because the light went off, and I thought, I've hit a wire. But yeah, so where am I? Just these last couple of bits to screw, and then I'm on to insulating this next section. I'll probably just insulate the whole lot as I go. Well, as long as it's not too awkward. If it's too awkward, I'll just insulate out, you know, 6 foot or so, and then that means that once I put more boards out, it'll be easy done. So getting somewhere, guys. The rain's just died off, nice and quiet again. No more therapeutic rain to get in the way. But yeah, I've had enough of a break, guys. Just want to say, actually, these wee tiles, these screws, floor tight between these and the riser screw has been the best screw I've used on this whole job yet. These Quicksilver ones are okay, and the trucks ones obviously are good for plasterboard and stuff. Them Quicksilver ones, they're okay, but these ones just go in a lot better. So do the risers. or I think it's called razor screws, very expensive. They're quite expensive too. It's like 35 quid for 3 boxes or something, and I'm gonna need a lot more when you're looking at a many. I think it worked out 60 boards would be like 3,000 screws. So yeah, again, them ones are pretty good, and the razors, so I think they're good because of the sweet blue coating. You can see it's coming off my finger. It just helps the screw go in. It's sort of like a lubricant paint or something, but you can actually notice the difference. It just dives the screw in that wee bit better. But yeah guys, gonna get this one screwed off, insulate. I'll probably come back to you and have all this insulated or something for a bit of a break, a bit of a rest. Everything else is pretty straightforward cutting. I have my wee cutting in there I'm going to put on in next door, bar. This is going to be my next awkward stage here, just getting that so it's going to be nice and solid across the doorway there. But I'm not going to worry about that until I get the insulation down, and then also I'll probably be starting full sheet that way anyway, so we'll work it out when we get to it. But yeah, it's a dance floor. I was just throwing in my insulation there, and then I just noticed that one of them joints creaked, so I just put another timber in there. And I think I've plenty of timber there now to catch the 25mm. But just want to give a shout out to the joiner, put the frames on, because it's absolutely perfect at the bottom. He has got them spot on, so that is excellent. And what I did there is have a wee off cutting with a square edge, and I just marked it, and then I've screwed that on as well, just for a bit of a guide, so that I can bump across this. And then what that does is my next piece can fit whatever way it wants. But I've left a wee shadow gap there at the back, wee 5-6mm bit of expansion along these walls as well. So I'm not fouling anything by coming out that wee bit further. I might actually mark there as well and just write no wires, no pipes, all clear on both doorways. And what that does, guys, is kind of foolproofs it. Just means that, you know, you can put a screw in and not hit a pipe or wire. It can be so nice, guys, putting the last piece on in an area anyway. It's not the last piece of the whole job. Still about, I don't know, 40 odd boards waiting for me. There we go. So this was just a wee off cut, so it was never going to be 1,000,000% perfect, but it's good enough. Battery's running low. Should be enough just to get this board finished. Not bad, guys. Not bad. My next board up on the chopping block, marked out for the doorway here. So hopefully the measurements coming in good. I want to be finishing right on the edge of that one, nice and flat. I've actually put the manufactured edge up there, and my cut edge will be back here. So yeah, gonna go with the jigsaw for this one, and just be a bit quicker, handier. And that's hopefully it fits. I'm sure you'll see the results shortly. But yeah, that's one. I'm gonna go off that first, and then one more trim here finishes that, and then I can finish the insulating there. Another board, and then it's only going to be about 6 inches along the skirting there to finish. So hopefully get the finger out here and get this wrapped up. That's the plan anyway. I think this next one's going to be hard to stagger as well without doing any big wastage. But as long as I can get one staggered, I'll be happy. Just want to choose this awkward cut. So that's me perfect, or next to it anyway, on the door frame here. And that means I'm doing out here, I'll be able to just run straight across that one. That was very hard to get in, guys. I had to beat it with a hammer up one end. I'm happy enough with the expansion joints I've left, and I'm half and half. But as you can see, I just wedged it up with this piece here. You need 2 hands to get out, so just wedged it up with that and hammered it in. But it does look tidy. You know, looks like a joiner did it, if I do say so myself. So whatever I did wrong, I'm gonna have to keep doing it, guys. But yeah, another board there, and this is gonna start really close it in and give me so much more room to work. Even when I come to do over here, because I have this whole base now, it's just going to make things just so much easier, smoother. Although I do have a section boarded over there as well. So yeah, let me get this one screwed off, that one cut in, screwed off, and just make that see me again until I'm crawling about in the eaves there, getting it insulated and floored. Right, guys, just got double insulated the last wee bit on the main floor, and then obviously insulate and board in there, and not to forget put a wee bit of something for my floorboards to catch there. Actually, I already have it in anyway. Big timber sitting ready to catch the floor. So I think next time out, be a board there and a board there, and then it's just going to be these strips to finish. So getting on pretty good, guys. Again, that one's just ready just to catch the next board. But yeah, think I've got on well there. Probably the most I've done on the floor in one day. It is slow, but at least there's progress has been made big style now. I'm gonna need to get more of them drill heads because I'm going through them like there's no tomorrow. No, every single one of them destroyed, and they're DeWalt, so most of them's DeWalt. Some faithful, absolute rubbish, just breaking. But yeah, that'll do for the moment, and next time hopefully you see me, I'll be blitzing this whole section out, cupboard and stuff. And this is all great, guys, because it gives me a working platform now where I have to actually add on to all of these timbers, so that I'm out flush to this, because I can't take that strapping off. Apparently it's not advisable. The roofing man who designed the roof said do not take it off. If it was his, he wouldn't take it off, so I can only go with that. That was the main reason why that's a screw gun. That's the main reason why the nail gun was bought, although I have done a lot of joinery with it and it has been very impressive as of yet. But yes, guys, I'm going to love yous and leave yous for now, and hopefully yous are enjoying this, the progress. 2 days ago there was just one wee strip of board here and all just boards just laying everywhere, and now we've more or less got a whole section of the loft complete. So yeah, not too bad. Guys, back at it here, about to cut the last 2 big ones for here, and then there will be some strips to sort out after. But I was just taking off that pile there. I'll have it all marked up. That's what I have to take off, so not too much wastage, which is good. Always good when there's not much waste. But the funny thing is, guys, when I was tipping that down, I remembered yesterday one of these ones when I was tipping it, well, more when it was dropping, I kind of pushed it over, and I didn't mean to, and I was still trying to hold it up, and it nearly, guys, these things are really heavy. Look how thick they are, like, some serious thickness to them. So when it went over, it nearly pulled me over the top with it, and I just luckily just kept my footing and able to balance and keep it up from slamming down. But if I had got flipped over the top of it, God knows where would I ended up. Probably down below through the plasterboard. But it kind of funny thinking about it. Just when the full weight of that started to go and I was trying to hold it up, it just would have been funny getting flipped over the top of the board, like. But yeah, gonna get on here and get these trimmed and slotted in, and then I'll probably give you another wee look at whatever way it's gonna finish, and then I'll probably get a wee crawl board and get in there, or if I can do it from here, I might be able to roll out from the edge of these boards, just roll it out and cut it, and before I actually have to crawl in there. But yeah, I'll jump back to you guys on this section. Just about ready to give everything a good brush up and tidy up again. But yeah, still have to screw this. Again, I think I mentioned this before, but the drill heads just keep snapping on me. DeWalt ones too. I went through a whole box nearly. I'm going to get some Erber ones and try them out here. But I have all the wee strip in. Still have to screw that board down and all these wee strips. Then obviously that strip goes into the cupboard in there. And now once I get the screw down, I'm going to start rolling out the insulation in here. I think I have a couple of bits of joinery to do in here, when there's just wee gaps that don't make any sense with this strapping the put down. So I have another piece over here. I think I'm just going to cut that to length, put it down to square that off, and then work off it then wherever 4 foot goes. So really this one will be the most floored out of them all, because it has whatever that is, 8 inches plus 4 foot wide, so 4 foot 8 inches. But yeah, I'm gonna get this all screwed down, guys, and then I might give you another wee look with this joinery work done, bits and pieces I need to do, and then the insulation rolled out and floored, or you might just see it all floored, so it'll look more like this side. So it'll be more like so it'll just flow in, and then obviously these gaps won't matter when it's studded up, but obviously things can fall from that side, but I'm going to try and put something on the back of it and rock wool up it as well. So I'm thinking of boarding the back of it, even just with scraps, just to hold it and tidy it up. But again, that's down the line. I'm not terribly worried about it at all. Could be a couple of YouTube videos maybe crawling about plastering the most awkward part of the build. But yeah, once I get that done, guys, I'll be out to organise and fix this floor down, which is going to be fun as well. There's a lot of stuff to do. I've got some of it in there already, sort of somewhat floored. I'm going to tile. I think we're going to tile in that section, just sort of in line with these, wherever they go, wherever these uprights go, and then all this will be boarded all individually. It's going to be a nightmare to plaster. It's going to be a nightmare to board, and it's going to be even harder to plaster. But we do like a challenge. Why not? Why not, guys? I'm going to be looking at as well, trying to make something nice out of it. Just realised I have another door here as well, so probably will keep that as a door actually, and then we're going to have 2 bits of access. And just realised there's nothing tan in that area, so obviously it's always been like that because I didn't remove any strap in there. So what I will do here will be, I'll finish off this bit of flooring as well. I'll tie something in, and then we're going to have two entrances there. Might make things a bit easier for storage and whatnot. Might also make it more awkward actually, because then you don't want to block the door. I don't know. I'll floor it anyway, and then I'll let the boss decide what we're doing that way. So yeah, coming in, guys. Just every little bit is another little bit done. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get this jumper on me and start rolling this lovely stuff out. And so I actually got another 4x1 in there, so that keeps everything nice and flat and straight now, so I can work off that and go back. But also a lot of the wee silly joiny bits, there was a hole in there, it's now filled, and had to support things, bridge them, just so, you know, if you were kneeling on it, wasn't dipping down. And there was a piece missing there for some reason as well, so that's it all back in, screwed down, not nailed, so it should be that bit stronger. Technically this floor is actually helping tie the structure together as well, because you know, can't twist anymore. So yeah, like realistically, if that there's structural, and then bits are structural, and then bits along the floor structural, then this floor must be very structural. It feels structural, I can tell you that. It's solid. But yeah, I'm gonna go now, insulate that, board that. I'll probably give you a wee clip when it's all down, looking lovely. Again, something you'll never see. It's gonna be plastered to there, maybe door on, maybe a wee door there too. So you'll probably never ever see it. But here we are. Let's get it done. It's back at it here, and come absolutely on the teeth with drill heads. So 30 Erber, and we got some Tala ones, which surprisingly say, if it'll focus there, says they're 5-year guarantee. Now I don't know how they're getting that, but let's see if it does 5 days, never mind 5 years. Don't know if it's 5-year guarantee in the box, but we will definitely gonna put that to the test, guys. But yeah, let's see which one lasts longer between these, because our boxes of broken dewalt ones just constantly shearing off, just no good at all. And then also faithful ones were shearing. Lovely. So it's boxes half empty now with them as well. Here we are, guys. all floored, insulated floored in there as well. Still need to drive a lot of screws into that, but wouldn't this place look nice if it was all tidied up? Yeah, that's a bit better now. So now that I have that sorted, guys, I'm going to organise this mess and start in this hallway, bringing it from door to door. And I'm going to overhang it here somewhere, probably as far as I can, so it can be cut back later on to perfection of wherever it needs to be. Because obviously around the edges will probably be plasterboarded in the meantime, and then I want to have a good overhang on that board there for here. Just realised I need to put some more, double this up, these two and them two. But I'm sort of glad I did all this messing about one other day. I sort of put a bit of flooring in there, although now I'm thinking I will fill these wee bits here. There's 2 wee bits left out. I think I'll completely fill them anyway. I'm going to check this board out so it slats right in tight to that big sort of 6x2 or whatever it is, 6x25mm I suppose. So yeah, I've got a lot of jigsaw work here to do, but I'll offer it up and get all my marks, and then I'll take it away and chop it up. But firstly, I think, yeah, I need to double up them ones. I don't know why I jumped the gun. And I worked it out where it's going to be 1, 2, 3 boards. 3 boards will give me like a good overhang about here. And then what I will do is I'll probably cut a couple of wee notches out for the ladder just to lock into, and then once this is finalised, whatever's happening with that, it can be cut off straight line across then. I'll worry about it another day. What it also does is when stuff's coming up, and you can see eventually it does start damaging edges, so at least that edge isn't the finished edge anyway, so it can damage away. That's my plan anyway. So here we go, guys. Get a few more bits of insulation in, and then I'll probably show you this slotted in nice and snug. Niche, that's another job I need to get on with, doing this niche. No major rush for it, but you know, so many jobs to do. It's just trying to figure out what's more important. I think they're all equally important at the minute. Really the end goal is to get the house fully plastered, and then that means the likes of the plumber and the electrician can come and finish their bits and pieces and get a bit of sawdust rubbed into my eye. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this sorted and then get this board down and see how we get on. So I love it when a plan comes together. That's sitting there pretty much perfect, and still have my wee gap there, what I planned to have for a wee bit of expansion. So now what I need to do is cut notches out of every single one of these uprights here, and then it should slide right in. But what I have to do is mark it all up first and measure. And still need a wee bit of insulation in there, and there's done. But like I say, I'll floor them 2 wee squares. I'll floor them 2 wee squares when I get a chance. Bit of dust in the throat there. So yeah, gonna crack on now, guys, and get these notches out. I'll probably show you it after it's all in. Again, guys, it's okay to be proud of your work, guys. Take a bit of time, bit of effort, and make it look as good as possible. Everything all marked up. As you can see, this was the only one that's a wee bit bigger, a bit further away. So hopefully I've marked everything pretty good. My idea here will be, guys, I'm going to cut the whole line away so that the gap's as big as possible. I don't want to be fighting this, sliding it in. I want it just to slide in nice and easy. I don't mind if there's a bit of a couple of mil gap around each one, to be honest. So I'll definitely be cutting on the outside of the line to make as much space as possible, so I'm not fighting it, putting it back in. I just made a wee mark there too, just in case it moved. I would have knew that it wasn't lining up. So yeah, time to get it all jigsawed out. Probably will just run the circular saw up it first and then jigsaw the rest on it. Here we are guys, almost there. Because it's onto this frame, it makes it a bit awkward just to slide in, but I have another, say, 1.5 inches to go. But the way I'm doing it is I'm just hammering, seesawing it in, just wiggling it in. The next one's going to be much easier because it's smaller, but I'll just show you my technique. So guys, what I'm doing is I'm just going side to side on them. It's just ever so slightly moving. Just using a bit of off cut. So I don't damage my edge. Just look there. Hopefully I'll get it in with that. Nearly there. Closing in right there. I think that's probably nearly as good as we're going to get. There's a bit less room than I would have wanted originally. A bit of a gap there, but as I say, no tile areas. Once it's screwed in, won't be as bad. Might be able to get in a wee touchy bit more, but so far not too bad. Quite a lot of work for some silly details, but it looks a bit better scraped in coming up as well, so it's all finished. And then obviously this area still to be done. This guys, looking good. One more cut to do. Like I said, I'm going to leave that nice big overhang just to suit whatever way it has to get finished. Better playing safe than sorry. I'm going to just take 2 wee notches out here and here, just so the ladder slips in a wee bit nicer and it won't foul anything. It's creaking like mad because it's not screwed down, and I think I've burnt my big hard drill out. I think just driving too many screws in one go without giving it a break might have been a bit too much. But yeah, hopefully I can get it sorted and get back running again. Just temporarily screwing everything down so I can get lots of cuts. So basically everything here still all needs screwed down. I'm gonna just finish this cut before I take my leave for the day. And I think I've been getting on well today. It was quite handy to finish those couple of boards, and then I insulated and finished in there, so I have done quite a lot. Insulated, finished this. I'm nearly out of insulation of 3 full rows left. I don't think that's going to be enough to finish that area, so I'm going to have to get more, but I haven't far to go to get it, so that's not too bad. And then all that whole back eaves still needs insulated and sheeted as well, and it's going to leave that to the very end because it's a bit tricky, just the way the bracing's done. It's not neat, to say the least. To say the least, it's not neat. But yeah, this is where we're at, guys. I'm going to cut this wee piece, and then I'm going to make an escape. I was going to go in here. I just need to watch my step. Everything's a bit messy on this side because I haven't really been working here. Having it all insulated. I think this is where I started, and then somehow I ended up over there. But I was going to cut this piece and that piece and that piece, but I think I'm a bit too hungry and a bit too tired to actually get at that. So I think this will be my last cut. This, and then just take 2 notches out for that ladder. I think this will be my very last cut, and then I'll be satisfied with that and go and get some dinner, hopefully. There we go, guys. That's the last piece of the puzzle in. Came in pretty tidy, but I had to double check the measurements because it was going to be too tight, way too tight, so I had to pull it back literally about 3-4 inches. Well, 3-4 inches this side, so it would have been, and I had to put it in and take it back out again and cut it. But yeah, pretty happy with how everything's went, guys. And see all these cuts, they just look more complicated than what they are. Like, I don't have no special way of really working them out, bar just measuring, you know, cutting your big side first and just measuring point to point, guys. And then what you can do is, once you have it all marked out, you can measure there and reference that measurement. Say that one, for instance, was 31 inches or 32 inches. So once I had it marked on board, I just measured that. That's how I figured out that it was wrong, and I had to go back and just double check something. I think it was this measurement. I took way too tight, like way too tight, so it would never have worked good. But yeah, guys, all the upward cuts done, and this gives a good platform now for coming up. Obviously it all needs screwed down really well, as does in there, and that's when the wee Jill packed in on me. So as in there needs done. Still, all this needs insulated, like we've seen previous. All needs really well insulated. But yeah, guys, again, not a joiner. Wouldn't claim to be a joiner, but happy enough with everything's been done. I think that maybe took a bit more time, maybe it started cleaning down that whole thing, but I didn't want to weaken it, so there's a slight raise in it, and I'm happy enough to keep the raise, so I'm not weakening a truss just for something that's a couple of mil really. But yeah, I might just finish these 2 wee squares before I do lovies and levies. Definitely not going in there, not doing any of that. I've had enough. And the good thing here too, guys, is this here's my beam here. I've marked it out there. That's my solid beam, and 8 foot from here to there will catch good, so I can just plank this fully out when I'm coming to do this, and just move the ladders back and forward to suit. So I've already, you know, this is the thing, guys. I've been thinking about this floor for a long time. It's been constantly in my mind, same as this awkwardness, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do this, constantly in my mind. Obviously things like this, even if there's stairs in there, I'd be able to plaster that, but you know, it's actually going to be easier without the stairs, believe it or not. All this as well, so I've already constantly been thinking about things and how I'm going to sort it and what way I'm going to do. So it's a bit of a crazy one, just constantly thinking. But yeah, I think the joints have all come in pretty well. And then obviously I have an awkward cut when I come to this room, just to bring it right out to that joist. But I'm sure if I did it there, I can do it again. I'm sure I can get lucky twice. But yeah, guys, I think I'm just going to finish them 2 wee patches there and then call it quits. 2 wee patches just dropped in. Still need screwed down. Again, there is 2 wee gaps there. I'm not too worried about them because the plasterboard's gonna cover that. So yeah, guys. So hopefully you are enjoying this. I'm enjoying the progress. Sometimes you have to look back a couple of videos just to see how far you've came. On this anyway. the squeaks annoy me. There's a couple of wee squeaks in there, but I'm not too worried. Say from the start, I wouldn't be too worried about squeaks as long as it's solid. Again, it could be some of them joists are just slightly moving. But yeah, guys, that's this one for now. That joinery work done. What do you think of the joinery work, guys? I think it's come up pretty well. More than happy. Again, gonna be carpet covering all my lovely cuts anyway. But hopefully I'm inspiring you guys on your projects, or you know, in your future projects, that you can actually believe in yourselves and do it. Trust me, you definitely can. And if there's any questions or things you just want a bit of advice on that I've maybe tackled, definitely. And likewise, if there's people out there who's already done a self-build, and you just want to suggest some stuff, definitely do it now rather than later, because I've had some suggestions but I've already been past certain points, so it's, you know, I need your suggestions sooner rather than later. Like, for one question I was going to ask was, obviously I'm going to insulate inside there on the slope, so I'm just wondering, is there any point in actually insulating these studs coming up? I was planning on putting rock wool in, but again, I'm not sure. The same as that stud, not quite sure whether they actually insulate it or not, because the ceilings are all getting insulated. So a wee bit of advice there, guys, if anybody wants to give me their thoughts.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Like and subscribe to macplastering.